What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Wednesday. I hope y'all are excited about day 2 of women's college basketball, which we'll talk about in just a sec. We're going to talk about MiLaysia and how she looks really good coming off the bench for LSU, though they weren't playing much competition. We're also going to talk about the NC State-Tennessee game that I absolutely loved yesterday. I'm telling you, both of these teams, you're not going to want to see them towards March. I'm just saying. I'm also going to talk about the worst team in women's college basketball, a team that scored 13 points in a full game, and a team that is coached by the Newmans. Remember that name? That was a big name, a couple years ago. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about the game that I attended yesterday, and that was DePaul. Guys, I'm telling you, not a lot of people were there, but I'm telling you, check out for DePaul this year. They got some really good players. And yeah. Anyway, Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
All right. Let's get into the show because there's quite a bit of random stuff I want to talk about, and also we're going to talk about Sandy Brondello and how she turned down the Dallas job, and now she is just another $1 million coach in the WNBA. First, guys, let's talk about the game that, in my opinion, was my favorite game yesterday. This was the game that I was super in tune with. I was excited about it, and it was between the Lady Vols and the Wolfpack. NC State versus Tennessee, and I gotta say, guys, this was a game. This was a back and forth battle. Here's the thing: we all know what Tennessee does. Tennessee is not the first team to ever do this, but we know they're gonna have the hockey substitutions, and we're just gonna see them go, right? And at times that was very successful. Here's the thing: this game was absolutely a game of runs. Absolutely a game of runs. And if you look at sort of day one, the day one game, where we had Duke playing, and it was sort of like a slog of a game, and it was kind of boring in a sense, and very just like neither team could really get stuff going. It was between Duke and Baylor, right? That game was not as entertaining because it just wasn't as free flowing. And I gotta say, I loved NC State versus Tennessee because this was a game that was just going. Both teams went on their runs. There were times where Tennessee found some really good success forcing with that press. If you watch Tennessee, you know what they're going to do. You know they are going to press and go wild. And then they're going to get subbed out and then get some rest. But there were stretches in this game where I believe was it Debbie Antonelli that was like she was like calling out the times where they were tying their shoe. Because here's the thing, this game did not have a ton of stops. We were just seeing them go. Tennessee, I really liked watching them play yesterday. Now, this team is a team that goes fast when they're doing that heavy press. This was also a team that got away with a lot of fouls. So here's the thing. Yes, did Tennessee get called for a lot of fouls? Yes, but also, personally, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Personally, I think Tennessee fouled way more than they got called for. Now, yes, they got called for 20-something fouls. Like they were fouling the mess out of NC State. But I felt like there were way more fouls that was not called. In the system, in the super aggressive defensive system that Tennessee plays in, they're going to get a lot of fouls. And they just kind of got to hope that they don't get called. They gotta hope that they don't get called. I gotta say, in this game, I love Talaysia Cooper. She was extremely aggressive throughout this game, and I thought that she was like one of the more consistent players for this Tennessee team. Just sort of being someone who can get to her spots and make some stuff happen. Tennessee jacked up a lot of shots, right? This was not here, let me turn off my heat. I'm burning up. Okay, we back. Anyway, this Tennessee team is not a team that is that great of a shooting team. Shooting wise, they just was jacking up shots. But they got a lot of second chance shots by their aggressiveness. And their aggressiveness ultimately led them to have a game where they were in it throughout. If it wasn't for Talaysia Cooper, this team would have been trash. I like the press. I do think this team is a bit sloppier with the press than they will be once we hit SEC play. I like Talaysia Cooper a lot. I think she is a huge X factor for this team, and I want to see more, right? I want to see more than Talaysia Cooper getting in the lane and making shots. I want to see more from Tennessee. Tennessee, in my opinion, should have won this game. Now, in a lot of ways, these teams are very evenly matched. But with the way that Tennessee runs their offense, runs their defense, that leads to offense, you would have thought that they should have won. Because this is a team that, had a lot of possessions, I should say. But at the end of the day, you have to capitalize on your possessions. Right? And I just felt like nobody really had it besides Talaysia Cooper and Jada Silvel. Jada Silvel, I actually really liked her game yesterday. She's a freshman, came off the bench, was a big spark for the team. Now, does Jada Silvel score a whole bunch of points? Not really. Has about 13 points. But I thought in terms of impact, I thought Jada Silvel was fantastic. Right? We got some action from the Paldo, sisters. Well, pretty much Mia, Paldo. But in this game, lots of fouls from Tennessee. We saw Tech in this one where I was like, what? Janiah Barker, who played okay. She played fine. She ended up having a three-point bucket. I think it was in the second half, I believe. And she threw up the threes, and I don't know. The commentator said she said something. I don't know. The ref was right there, gave her a tech, and she was like, what? And so I thought that was kind of funny because I was like, come on now. I don't know. Maybe she did say something, but if you're just holding up the three after you made a three, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool to call a tech on that. But anyway, that being said, that's Tennessee. Tennessee should have won because of the fresh bodies that kept getting put out there. Lynette says Janiah Barker is a crybaby. She was crying out there. She was. she really was. Anyway, let's talk about NC State because guys, I love NC State. I love NC State. Oh my goodness. I was a huge fan of NC State last year. Pretty much because of the two now WNBA players and Sanaya and Isaiah. But I tell you, NC State. Camille Pierre was like, yeah, I still got it. Camille Pierre, the transfer from Vandy, was absolutely amazing yesterday. 21 points, 14 rebounds. She was someone that this team could just rely on. There were certain spurts in this game where Tennessee was going on runs, and who helped to stop those runs for NC State? It was Camille Pierre. I absolutely loved her play yesterday. She was getting to her spots, which is getting to the post and getting mid-range jumpers. That's Camille Pierre's game right there. And I thought she was on freaking fire yesterday. She was fantastic. And it wasn't just her, guys. It was Camille Pierre. It was Tilda Trieger, who has another year under her belt. The Swedish sophomore was doing her thing yesterday. I thought she was super impactful on the boards. Defensively, she was someone who was getting after it in terms of scoring. A little bit of everything from Tilda Trieger. And then we got Zam Jones. I am a big fan of Zam Jones. Again, another sophomore for NC State. Last year, I thought Zam Jones was really good, gave a lot of promise as a freshman. And this year, in a lot of ways, this entire NC State team is led by young people. They are. And I love it. I love it. They don't really have upperclassmen on this team. Not really. Right? The most experienced player on this team is Zoe Brooks. Zoe Brooks is a junior. I tell you, NC State is a team that you all need to watch. You need to watch this team because I think this game showed that NC State has a full roster. They don't need to have a ton of substitutions, right? Don't need it. Right? Whereas, in a lot of ways, if you look at the box score for Tennessee, basically no one played more than 30 minutes. Z Spearman played 30, but no one played more than that, right? Talasia had 31 minutes. But anyway, you didn't see a ton of minutes from the starters for Tennessee. Tilda Trieger played 37 minutes. Camille Pierre, 36. Zam Jones, 34. All right? Zoe Brooks, 39. And also, shout out to Zoe Brooks. Like, she was really good yesterday as well. The point is, this NC State team, there were a lot of times throughout this game where I was like, NC State's tired. We about to see Tennessee go on a run. They about to make some stuff happen because, again, these hockey assists, you just see these players coming in and in and in and in. But no. We saw Camille Pierre tied. Still was scoring buckets. Zoe Brooks was tied. Still scoring buckets, passing the basketball well, making an impact. And you don't turn over the ball a lot. This NC State team, I love this team. Like, oh my goodness. And then it comes down to the wire, and NC State ends up pulling out the victory, right? And you do it with Zam Jones, who just goes off kind of in the fourth and makes some stuff happen. And ultimately, NC State gets the dub. Shout out to NC State. I'm telling you, try to watch as many games of NC State as you can. because they are dangerous. They are a dangerous thing. Yes, the Lady Vols, they'll get it together, and I also do think in the SEC that Tennessee will be very dangerous. But NC State, they've arrived, and they're young, which makes me just wonder. Oh my goodness, what about next season? What about as we head into March? How much noise can NC State play? How much noise can it make? How much? A lot. A lot, guys. So shout out to NC State. A huge win for this team. And I loved it. I loved it. Okay? All right. Let's talk about another game that happened yesterday. It was LSU taking on a pretty easy team. LSU ended up getting their home opener in front of, it was like 9,000 fans or something like that. I thought they looked good against, I mean, not the most competitive team ever, but they took down Houston Christian yesterday. Houston Christian with the logo that, in my opinion, looks like Yukon. What do y'all think? Let me know. In this game, we kind of saw what I thought we was going to see, right? We saw what we saw in preseason. Zakiya Johnson, who is, I think, we saw Kim Mulkey sort of talk about Zakiya a little bit in the press conference, and she didn't want to say that Zakiya is like really playing out of position. Zakiya is playing out of position, but she is so effective at it. She is so effective at it. Zakiya Johnson is basically a power forward. And yes, Houston Christian is not good. They're not. I get it. But I like Zakiya Johnson. I like her a lot. I think she's someone who in some ways reminds me of like Anissa Morrow. Ultimately, she does get a double-double in this one, 11 points, 11 rebounds. But the star of the show, of course, as usual, is MiLaysia Fulwiley. She does come off the bench with 21 points in 21 minutes, 7 steals. She was doing a little bit of everything. Was a big spark plug for the team. Yeah, Aubrey. Kim Mulkey ended up talking about that in the press conference. I gotta say, when I heard her say that, I was like, I'm trying to think of Nina Davis. I'm trying to place her, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I gotta go back because there's some names that I just can't remember, and I couldn't remember hers. She played for Kim at Baylor, and so I gotta go back and look at some highlights to like see her game because I was just like, who? And so, yeah, because here's the thing. There's a lot of players who have played in women's college basketball that have made an impact, that have been great. And annoyingly, my brain is not big enough to fit everyone's name and like exactly what everyone did in the past. So I got to go back and look her up. But definitely I get Anissa Morrow vibes for sure. With Zakiya Johnson. Anyway, MiLaysia came off the bench, made a big impact. She did her thing. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Again, should we take a lot out of this? No. No, we shouldn't take a ton out of this, but it's a really good start for LSU, and I do think that we're going to continue to see MiLaysia do this, right? Be a spark plug off the bench and eventually become the engine of this team. Eventually. Yeah, El Kune, MiLaysia is going to be MiLaysia. She is. Yeah. Yep. C-Dub says your next national champions. For LSU? You think LSU's gonna win this year? Really? Interesting. All right. Interesting. But yeah, good for MiLaysia. She seemed happy. She was productive. And again, not the best competition. So it's going to take a while for us to really, really, really see what she could do at LSU because, again, they're not playing much of anybody. So, yeah. Ryan says going to miss Fulwiley in the CLA, Colonial Life Arena. Yeah. This season, when South Carolina plays LSU, they're playing in Louisiana. I think next year is going to be in South Carolina. So, yeah, that's something. Anyway, yes. Interested to see how they play against Duke. Yes. All right, let's get on to some of the other games that happened yesterday. Yesterday, we also saw Yukon take down Louisville. Full disclosure, guys, I didn't get a chance to watch this game. Full disclosure. So I don't have really anything to say about this one other than, kind of like what the box score tells me. I will watch this game later today, and so I'll be fully abreast of what happened. But it was a pretty close game, 79-66. For this one, we ended up seeing Sarah Strong and AZ Foot kind of lead the charge with 21 and 20 points respectively. For Louisville, we saw Laura Ziegler do her thing, leading the charge with 16 points. 18 rebounds. Wow, 18 rebounds. Wow, that's fantastic. Anyway, I gotta take a look. I gotta take a look at the game. Full disclosure, I did not get a chance to watch it. Okay, but I'll take a look at it today and be able to have some real thoughts about this. Here's the thing. I can't watch every single game. I will tell you the games that I just can't. The games I don't watch, and I just have stats for you. I'll tell you. So you're aware. But yeah. One day, when this is my full-time gig, I'll be able to watch all the games. But right now, can't. But the game I did watch, a game that I was in person for, was DePaul versus Valparaiso. Now, I'm going to talk about this game real quick because I thought this was a fantastic game. And I got to tell you, if you are in Chicago, go to DePaul games. Okay? That is my request to you. If you are in Chicago, go to DePaul games. All right? Because yesterday I saw a fantastic basketball game. In this one, again, DePaul kind of easily took down Valparaiso, final score 92-54. In this game, it was actually fairly close to start off. We saw Valparaiso get off the board fast, knocking down threes. They ended up having, I believe 4 threes in the first quarter. DePaul is a team that doesn't do like hockey assists or anything, but they are a team that presses a lot. Like this team is in full court press for a good amount of the game. For probably the majority of the game, they were in a full court press. And it was very, very good. Here's the thing. Valparaiso is not a very good team. They're okay, not a very good team in general. And Valparaiso turned the ball over about 35 times in this one because of the pressure that DePaul was giving them. Forcing turnovers through that press, and then when DePaul went into a half-court defense, really good active hands, stealing the ball left and right. It was kind of fun to see. It really was, and the game really opened up specifically in that second half. The best player on this team for DePaul this season is a redshirt freshman. Last year she played in about, I think she played in 2 games before she got hurt and was out for the rest of the season. Her name is Allie Tim. And Allie, I gotta tell you, when it comes to Big East awards at the end of the season, expect Allie Tim to win some awards. Because yesterday, Allie ended up knocking down 8 3-point shots. 8. She had 2 instances where it was back-to-back threes, and the crowd, it wasn't that many people there, but the crowd that was there went wild. Absolutely wild for Allie Tim, and I'm telling you, The girl on the screen right now, her name is Allie Tim. Watch out for her in the Big East. I think she's fantastic. 28 points for her yesterday. Again, this is like her third game ever in college because she got hurt and basically didn't play last season. And so this was a big game for her. Big game for Coach Jill Pizzotti, who it's her first official win as the DePaul head coach. Last year, she served as the interim for a good amount of the season. But this year, she's fully in charge. And I actually really, really liked the way DePaul ran on both offense and defense. Offensively, though, there was a ton of bunnies missed. Like a lot of like shots around the basket that were missed. And I was just like, come on now. That's something that DePaul has to work on. But their aggressiveness on both offense and defense was there. Their 3-point shots were there. It was fan-freaking-tastic to see. Another player that I got to talk about, sophomore Natalia Nelson. I thought she was really good. I thought she was really, really good. Sophomore, just joined the team as a transfer, and had a double-double, 13 points, 15 rebounds, super, super active throughout this game and very, very aggressive. There was a moment in the second half, I believe, when she got the ball on a fast break, did a fun spin move, made the layup, and then she had like a giant smile on her face after it was over. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. Like it was really, really fun to see the joy on DePaul faces as this game was kind of going on. We also saw a sharpshooter for DePaul. Her name is Kate Novick. She ended up having 19 points, couple assists, about 6 assists. Ended up knocking out some really good 3-pointers. She was fun to watch as well. So I'm telling you, DePaul, if you are in Chicago, check out DePaul women's basketball. Okay? Check them out. Don't just watch the game against Yukon. Check out some other games as well. Names to remember: Allie Tim, Natalia Nelson, and Allie. What was Allie? Allie Novick. Names to remember. But yeah. Anyway. I just had to talk about it. I will be heavily covering DePaul this year only because I'm in Chicago and I'm going to be going to most of the games. And so, yeah. Make sure you all check them out. This is Natalia Nelson. This is what she looks like. Fantastic, fantastic player. But yeah. Anyway, that's DePaul. And seriously, guys, if you're in Chicago, go to a game. Go. All right. Anyway, let's talk about USC. USC started off their season yesterday by getting a pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy win. They ended up taking down New Mexico State. Final score 87 to 48. This is the new USC team without Juju Watkins. And full disclosure, I didn't get a chance to actually really watch this game, but we did see Jazzy Davidson, the freshman, sort of lead the charge for the squad. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for her. Okay. So yeah, USC won 87-48. Not a ton to write home about. I'll end up catching up more on this game later today as well. Other games you all gotta be aware of is Michigan. Easily kind of took down Canisius, I think is how to pronounce that. 100-40. Again, guys, we're not gonna see a ton of competitive games as we head into the early part of the season. Olivia Olsen, 18 points. Mila Holloway, 21 points. Silas Swords didn't do a ton, 9 points for her, but yeah. And then the game I got to talk about. Okay, so I think, guys, we might have found one of the worst teams, one of the worst games in women's college basketball. Have you ever I said have you ever, and then in my head it was like, needed someone so bad. Y'all, does anyone know this song? Sometimes you gotta lose to win the game. Okay, anyway. Anyway. So, have you ever been to a game where you saw a team at one point being down like 70-0? Have you ever seen that happen? Where a team just couldn't score. Right? This is what happened yesterday as CSUN took on Bethesda. All right? And I got to tell you, guys, at the start of the third quarter, the score in this game, it was 52 CSUN, 0 Bethesda. 0. Finally, Bethesda did end up scoring, but their first basket came by way of a 3. It was 72-0 with 4 minutes left, or about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, or in the third quarter, I should say. 72-0. And finally, we end up seeing Bethesda knock down a 3. And you heard the crowd was cheering. The crowd was cheering, and the game wasn't at Bethesda. It was at CSUN, right? This was an away game for Bethesda, but the crowd felt so bad at what they were witnessing, a 72-0 game, they felt so bad that when the team finally knocked down a 3, they started cheering. Right? And Jacqueline Aguilar, which is the person who got the scoring going for Bethesda, we ended up seeing her knock down 3 threes in this game, finish with 9 points, the leading scorer for Bethesda. At the end of the game, CSUN had 103, Bethesda had 13 points. Again, Jacqueline Aguilar scored the most points with 9. We saw another player have 3, another player 1 point. That's their 13. Now, if you look at this game, if you look at the box score and you look at the game and you're like, oh my goodness, that is horrible. What is going on with this team? Well, I thought the same thing when I saw this. And I was like, okay, let me look into Bethesda. What's going on with Bethesda? And when I looked into this Bethesda team, I saw a familiar face that I hadn't seen in a very long time. I saw a familiar face. And if you all were into basketball, specifically like high school basketball a couple of years ago, if you're into high school basketball, you all saw a name pop up quite a bit back in the day, a couple years ago. You saw a name that kept coming up. The Newmans. The Newmans. specifically Julian Newman, right? He was one of the, he was a player that got probably some of the most hype I've ever seen from a high school player. He was getting hype before he even hit high school. Julian Newman was really a guy who kind of started a lot of the YouTube sort of like social media viral video basketball stuff. In a lot of ways, Julian Newman kind of started that, right? You all may remember that, like, for a hot second, there was a show that was watched, that I watched. You know, it featured Julian Newman. It featured his sister, Jaden Newman, and it featured their dad, Jamie Newman. And I watched a whole bunch of the Newmans. And ultimately, Julian wanted to go in the NBA, and but ultimately, guy was very, very short, had a short temper on the court. Ultimately, he was just someone who would do a whole bunch of moves while standing in the same exact spot, all these crazy dribble moves, but he wouldn't really be moving anywhere. But anyway, like he just yeah. Anyway, his dad coached him and his sister at certain parts throughout their playing time, and I was just fascinated by this family. I just was. I was just very fascinated in the confidence that they had of their skills on the basketball court. And the Newmans are a family that I hadn't thought about in years. Truly, I have not thought about the Newmans in years until I saw what happened yesterday to Bethesda. And then I looked at the head coach and I was like, that's Jamie Newman. I was like, wait, hold up. Jamie Newman is now coaching college women's basketball? What? and so I had to look into this Bethesda team even more. Cause I'm like, oh, hold up. We got Jamie Newman coaching. Okay. Interesting. His team just got killed. Barely scored 13 points in this game. I was like, okay, interesting. So I went to Bethesda's website, went to their athletics page, and I ended up reading an article talking about the transformation of Bethesda women's basketball. Now, of course, it's written by someone who worked for the school, probably someone in the school paper or something like that. So it's like it's a good article. And the article is kind of talking about, it says, quote, leading this transformation is the program's new coaching staff. Head coach Jamie Newman and assistant coach Luis Herrera, two experienced leaders who bring a powerful combination of basketball expertise, player development vision, and character-driven leadership for Bethesda. I was like, okay. It goes on. It says, Coach Jamie Newman joins the program with decades of experience across the collegiate and professional levels, known for his passion for teaching the game the right way. Newman's coaching philosophy focuses on fundamentals, toughness, and building players who thrive both on and off the court. His commitment to establishing a winning culture has already set the tone for what's to come. And in the article, Jamie Newman says, quote, this season isn't about wins and losses. It's about building something lasting, a culture that our players, university, and community can be proud of. So that's what he said. As I read that, I was like, what? Okay, interesting. Okay, now let me do a little bit more digging. Okay, we know they just got killed. This is their second game, by the way. They played their first game on Monday, second game yesterday. And I was like, okay, well, let me find out more about this backstory about this team. What's going on? Now, Bethesda is a super, super small private college, Christian college in California. All right. And the school is extremely small. The school is the size of my high school, basically. The school has 500 students. So, as we go along, you're going to understand why this team got killed like the way they did. This school they don't have more than 500. I've seen different numbers ranging from 200 to 300. Let's just say less than 500 students go to Bethesda, a small Christian university in California. So, very, very small school. Extremely small school. A school that's smaller than than a lot of high schools in the United States. So, you got that going for them. And then I saw that this school is a Division I school, but in the NCCAA. And I was like, the NCCAA, what does that mean? Is that a typo for the NCAA? Is that a typo for that? No, actually. The NCCAA is the National Christian Collegiate Athletic Association. It's its own entity. So Bethesda is not a NCAA school. They're not. They are a NCCAA school. All right, so not even NCAA. They're not even NAIA. Though when I looked it up, it seems like a lot of NCCAA schools also play in NAIA, which is another league, basically. Collegiate sort of league. All right. So what I'm trying to say is very, very small school that plays in a very, very small sort of collegiate league. And Bethesda, if you go on their website, they have 14 players listed on their roster. But for the first 2 games of the season, Bethesda has only played, they've only had 5 players available. So a school with less than 500 players, this school has 14 players on its women's basketball team. Of those 14, only 5 players can make the first 2 games. And so it kind of puts it in perspective how bad this team lost by. Right? In their first game on Monday, they ended up losing to San Diego 92-23. Not as bad, but, loss. Then they play CSUN, which is significantly better. And CSUN, if you don't know, is California State University, Northridge. Okay, I just say CSUN, but it's California State, Northridge. And California State, Northridge is a large university, right? This is a school that has way more people even who go to the school, right? Whereas Bethesda is less than 500, CSUN has about 36,000 students. And so you have a lot better of a women's basketball program at CSUN. And so, yeah. Anyway, giant loss for this team. They are getting clowned on social media, but I actually really don't think they should be. The reason why I'm talking about this, yes, massive loss, massive. But keep in perspective, this is a school of less than 500 going against a school of 36,000 students. This is a school that only had 5 players to suit up for them, whereas the opposing team basically had their complete roster. Yes, the final score is 103-13. Yes, this might be one of the worst teams in women's college basketball. However, they're not a NCAA school. They are a small school that barely has enough players to actually suit up. They are coached by one of the Newmans, right? Jamie Newman, the father. And they're not going to be good this year. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. So I thought I'd talk about it. Small school. Yeah, Shamika, small school, little in resources for the team. I would doubt that any of these players are on actual scholarship for basketball related things. I think it's just one of the things where in small school, who wants to play basketball? And then you just suit up some players to play basketball, and they play and they get killed, and that's it. So yeah. Anyway. Anyway. What's going on? What's going on in the chat? I don't know. Anyway. Finally, I did want to just talk about. Oh dang, we out of time. We out of time today, but I did just want to talk about real quick. Sandy Brondello. Sandy Brondello is officially basically the third millionaire coach in the WNBA. We know that Becky Hammon was the first millionaire coach when she became the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces. Nate Tibbetts became another millionaire coach when he first signed on to the Phoenix Mercury. And now we have our third millionaire coach in Sandy Brondello, who reportedly was offered more money to be the head coach of Dallas. Because here's the thing. I told y'all when Dallas fired their head coach, I mean, he didn't do very well this year at all. But it felt like they were going to keep him until Sandy Brondello basically got let go at New York. And we saw right after that, the Dallas Wings announced that they fired their head coach. Chris Koklanis is out. And I told y'all when that happened, I told y'all that Dallas fired him to get Sandy Brondello. Like I was like, Sandy Brondello is going to be the next head coach of Dallas because Dallas wants Sandy. And I thought that was going to happen. And we know, courtesy of the WNBA whisperer who knows everything, Annie Constable, she ended up reporting that Sandy Brondello was offered more money outside of Toronto. She was offered more money. But she chose to go to Toronto. According to multiple sources, she received a more lucrative offer. But she went to Toronto because of the team's front office. She said, quote, "This is a place I wanted to be, to build a team from the ground up that really excited me." She wanted an opportunity to build her own team, her own roster, her own identity. She could have been in Dallas with, one of the best point guards in the WNBA already, in Paige. She could have been in Seattle, who also wanted her. But she turned both Seattle and Dallas down for Toronto. I think this is a smart move. A very, very smart move, actually. I think that if you're a coach like Sandy Brondello, you have an opportunity to literally build your own identity. You saw how successful a coach like Natalie Nakase was this past season with the Golden State Valkyries. Why wouldn't you say, yeah, I'm going to create my own in Toronto and not have to worry about certain players who are already under contract and yada, yada, yada. You can really work with your GM and make this stuff happen, right? And you have a whole country backing you. Toronto is the only women's professional game in town. Well, in the country. And so, yeah. You saw how crazy Canada went for the Toronto Blue Jays? It has to be kind of cool to be able to really have your own thing. Is it a lot of pressure? Yes. It's a whole lot of pressure to have to build something completely from scratch than to be given something. Because at least if you're given something, you can say, oh, well, it's because XYZ, XYZ. If you're creating everything on your own, then it's more on you, right? But this was a great move for Sandy Brondello. She's going to make $1 million. She would have got more if she went to either Dallas or Seattle, but she chose collaboration with the front office. And I wonder if some ways this is an indictment on Dallas and Seattle and how stuff works there. Eric says, Sandy and Tempo put the rest of the WNBA on notice. They are coming for their free agents. I mean, yeah. I agree, Kina. Toronto was her best option. It was. Yep. Tisha, who knows a whole lot more than the rest of us because she's like in Dallas or whatever. Tisha says, I knew Dallas wanted her, and I also knew she didn't want them. Sandy would have been crazy. Sandy would have been crazy to come to Texas. Glad she chose Canada's smart choice. Oh man, and someone from Texas saying that about Dallas that's hilarious. But yeah, she did. I agree. She did make the right choice. She made the right choice. Made the right choice. As Tisha also says, as I say in Domino's, all money ain't good money. Yeah. I didn't know that was a saying, but specifically to Domino's. But yes, all money is not good money. That's for sure. And yeah, way better situation in Toronto than Dallas. Even though you have a fantastic player like a Paige Bueckers on your team, you also have. I mean, here's the thing. Maybe she didn't want to work with the current front office in Dallas. Maybe she wanted a new vibe. And didn't necessarily want to sorry. Okay, I gotta go. I have a work thing. Anyway, that's it. Shout out to Sandy Brondello. Good choice. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Till next time, guys. Bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set.